Hopefully it works this time. Yeah, I ain't know what I was doing last time. Definitely was kind of weird. But I'm gonna try this. Oh, I'm gonna try this one more time. Definitely gonna try it one more time. What I want to go over is the Jaime Munguia and John Ryder fight, and that's probably a big fight that's coming out right now. Um, I know the card's kind of decent. It has a lot of known names on it. A lot of guys that we've been watching over time. Uh, Gabriela Fendor as well. Romero and Ruiz. That'll be a good fight. But it's definitely a lot of guys that's gonna test themselves. Um, See what they can do. That's what I'm saying. But not really, man. Yeah. All right. I had got flabbergasted by something. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be a huge task with these guys coming out. With Munguia, John Ryder. I feel like Munguia was definitely looking at John Ryder as if he was locked in. You know what I'm saying? He feels like this is opportunity. This is a big fight for Munguia as well. A natural 168. John Ryder's a guy who's really not trying to be left behind. He doesn't want to be looked at as a gatekeeper. He's someone that definitely had a hard fight against Canelo. But I feel like people kind of take that fight and feel like McGill will have a hard time against Canelo, so he should have also a difficult time with John Ryder. But styles are kind of different when it comes to guys like that. You don't really know what they're gonna bring to the table, but it's definitely gonna be a huge task. And I feel like he'll be ready. Definitely feel like he'll be ready. Everyone's expecting a knockout. I don't know. It could be at this time right now. He could get a knockout, but John Ryder's not really someone you could just go in there and kind of knock him out or walk all over him. He's someone who's very difficult to handle. Um, I feel like Canelo could have stopped him, but I feel like the injury he had, it was just too much, hurting his wrist and um, not really wanting to go in and risk anything against him. John Ryder's a very, very tough guy. So McGee is gonna have a hard time. But I feel like later on in the fight he's definitely gonna walk him down and kind of show him everything he needs to. But John Ryder, he's a lot more tough than guys expect. But I feel like McGee will get the knockout though, for sure. Just because I feel like he gets stronger when he goes up in weight. A lot of these guys, y'all see how Virgil Ortiz looked recently. Virgil Ortiz was very, very explosive. A lot of these guys moving up to their natural weight. Even Ryan Garcia, his power was coming out more. People don't think he has enough power, but he has power and speed. But I feel like he's definitely someone who's gonna he's gonna be a hard fight for anybody. Definitely. But also, um, on that card, I feel like Flugum and Fox, that'll be a good fight. But I don't know if Fox is gonna be ready. He didn't look really locked in to me like he wanted to I don't know, be up for the task. I feel like Slocum is definitely gonna be someone who's gonna be coming into the division, trying to make a name for himself. A lot of these guys they don't wanna try to be looked at as someone who's weak or the weak link of the division because you got a lot of new names and guys don't wanna get caught slipping and definitely get knocked out because it's a lot of guys now. They can set you up, be patient, and knock you out. So that's definitely gonna be difficult for a lot of guys. But I feel like they can make something happen. Definitely make something happen. But with the Eastside Cruz and Rolly Romero fight coming up, I feel like that'll be a good fight. I feel like Rolly Romero, that's a challenge for him. Eastside Cruz, I don't know. He might be kind of used to that kind of style that Rolly Romero has. But I feel like it'll be more of a challenge for Rolly just because of the things he's been doing the last 12, 18 months. I don't feel like he's kind of stepping in, really trying to challenge himself as far as the guys he's fought in the past. I feel like a couple of fights he's had has been close as well. The Jackson Marinez fight was close. So he's definitely gonna have to prove himself to the fans, especially if he want to keep his belt. Because a lot of fans they want to see him fight Ishmael Barroso, even though he's gonna fight Isak Cruz this time around. I mean, Isak Cruz is a tough opponent, so it's not like Barroso right now is more dangerous than Cruz. It's all of them are dangerous for especially for Rolly right now because the experience is going up. So a lot of guys he doesn't really know or familiar with. So it's gonna be kind of rough on him. But I feel like with that fight though, he should come out on top as far as Isak Cruz, but only time will tell. Now with the Lara and Zafara fight, I don't really know what's gonna happen in between those guys. I definitely feel like that's gonna be a huge opportunity for him. Zafara likes to counter a lot. Um, Lara's very active. He likes to he likes to walk forward. He likes to go to the body and that Cuban style that they have with different guys. He's a very good fighter. So I feel like he's gonna bring a lot to the table. But Zafar, he's somebody. He got a couple of losses, but I wouldn't worry about that because um you've had guys in the past that had losses and different things like that, but they still come back and become champions later on. So he's definitely someone that can do that. And then with the Tim Zoo and Keith Thurman fight, I feel like that's a big fight for Tim Zoo. Keith Thurman's still a threat. I feel like a lot of people sleeping on Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman's someone who definitely not going to be slept on as far as from Tim Zoo. Like he said last year, he wants to have big names, and a lot of people don't want to give guys credit unless they're fighting somebody who has a name. And, I mean, all the guys at 154 don't want to fight Tim Zoo. I don't know what the situation was with the guy what's his name um Lubin, but he said recently that he doesn't know what the situation was as far as the contract being withdrawn. So all I know is that Tim Zoo wanted to fight big names, so maybe he just pulled out of that fight for a chance to fight Keith Thurman. I mean, at the end of the day, he said he wanted to fight big names, so that's what he's doing. He's really keeping his word. He told everybody what he was going to do. But people was expecting the Terrence Crawford fight or the Jamel Charlo fight. I didn't really expect those fights because I feel like Jamel Charlo, going through the situations he's going through now, and he wasn't really trying to fight those guys before all those fights went through. So, um, going through with the Canelo fight, I kind of lost hope on it. So I was like, Tim Tszyu, but he's in a position now where he can kind of make a name for himself. I think this will be his first time fighting in Vegas, so this is definitely going to be a huge opportunity for him to make his name for himself. He was trying to be a global star. Uh, he already knocks out guys, puts on action-packed fights. A lot of people were sleeping on him. So he definitely gonna change a lot of people's eyes, especially if he goes out there and knocks out Keith Thurman. If he knocks out Keith Thurman, it's gonna be bad for everybody because Keith Thurman, he's not easy to get knocked out by. Even though Pacquiao had a chance to try to do it, if Pacquiao was a little younger, he probably could have knocked out Keith Thurman, but Pacquiao's not as young as he used to be. So I definitely feel like that's a huge fight for Pacquiao when when he was when he beat Keith Thurman. So Keith Thurman is definitely still a huge fight for anybody. A lot of people still want to see Keith Thurman get in the ring. I mean, at this time right now, we don't have that many stars in boxing to the point where Tim Tszyu can kind of go around. He'll be going up two divisions trying to get guys at this point because 154 just it's not the same as it used to be, especially with Charlo. Those guys not really active, so you can only get what you what's available. But that's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? Definitely Keith Thurman is the best available at 154. A lot of people expect to keep Terrence Crawford, but I don't know, man. I don't know what Terrence Crawford's situation is right now. If he got word that he can get a Canelo fight, he probably would say, I'll just wait on Tim Tszyu fight, which would be smart. If you can get a chance at Canelo fight and they give you some heads up about it, then you can go through that. That's how I see it. Because Canelo's people saying different names for Canelo every day, whether it's Charlo or Munguia, then Terrence Crawford. So I don't know. A lot of those guys don't have fights right now. So well, Munguia he has a fight, but we already know he's a candidate for Canelo. But at the same time, those other two guys we don't know. But with the Fundora fight coming up, I heard today, a couple of hours ago, they said this is gonna be for the 154 belt for the WBC. They said that Charlo is gonna be a champion in recess, so it's gonna be a championship fight. So Fedora can get a chance of being the champion again. So that's a huge opportunity. But the guy he's fighting is kind of built just like him. Boachet, he has a big right hand. If you go see his highlights, he knocks guys straight out. I don't know if it's because of his opponents, but at the end of the day, they're still boxers. And I don't see guys usually get laid out like that. So I feel like that's definitely a good fight. A lot of these fights, they're better than what they seem like because the styles, they're going to clash well, but it's going to be some huge fights, especially on the PBC card. I feel like the PBC card, the like the undercard fights will probably be better than the main event, just the way the styles are. And Fandora, we don't know. We haven't seen him in the ring lately because we could say he got caught with a lucky shot against Mendoza because Mendoza was just throwing the right hand. He wasn't really trying to aim it, even though I did pick him to win the fight. I, I don't know if that was a legit knockout as far as can it be done again as far as Fandora because a lot of people say I don't because I've seen he has a chin even though he's skinny. I think he has a chin, so to see him get knocked out like that kind of surprised me. But if we see later on that he gets knocked out like that again, then we'll know. Okay, he don't got a chin. But right now, I wouldn't question if he doesn't have a chin. But this guy gonna let us know though. He's not gonna do like Erison Lubin because he doesn't really jab as much. This guy really can't. He doesn't really jab as much. He really just throws a big right hand. Um, but he hits. He hits on target though. That's the thing about it. He jabs a little bit, but it's not as much. I feel like Fandora's kind of rangy, so he definitely can make it difficult for anybody. So that's a good fight though. But for a 154 belt, that's gonna make it more interesting. But this card is loaded though, all the way from Isak Cruz, Lara, Tim Tszyu, Keith Thurman. People don't realize that Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman fight, the styles are gonna match up crazy. it's gonna be some crazy styles in that fight because Keith Thurman, it's hard to stop Keith Thurman. But let me go to the next fight. Oh, okay. We're going with Komatov and Ford on March 2nd. Now this is the top ranked card. Now the top ranked card on March 2nd. This gonna be an underrated card. I'm gonna tell y'all right now because what's crazy is Ford was supposed to fight um in another fight, but they end up lining this fight up with him. So now with this guy coming in, they call him Bruce Lee, and Ford gonna fight him, and it's a hard fight, man. Cause Ford, he's fast, he can jab, he has a lot of speed, but this dude right here, he has a big right hand, a huge right hand. So this could be a very, very huge fight for him. Uh, Either one of these guys, they can go on fight the champions, and this is the title fight. But as far as unifying, so this is a huge fight. This is I think both of these guys are first time champions, so this definitely gonna be a huge fight. But the way the styles gonna match up, it's just gonna be very difficult to kind of go about things as far as those guys trying to do whatever they usually do. Because one guy's trying to move, walk forward, and another guy he's trying to counter, but he also is trying to walk forward too. He's trying to fight off the front foot. So I don't know. That's gonna be a very good fight. I can't really pick a winner on that yet. This fight with Boca Chica versus Norman Jr. I feel like this gonna be a good fight too, man. I feel like Norman Jr. with Randall, the styles just matched up very bad in the last fight. I feel like in this fight, the styles will match up a lot better because Norman Jr. He can jab well. He's a very good boxer. He doesn't let guys really crowd him and um, get into his space because a lot of times when Randall was fighting him, he was kind of coming in and wasn't really being able to counter and different things like that because I don't know, their arms would get tangled. It was just different things that would just make the fight bad. But he's a lot better than the fight actually made him seem. So I feel like this opponent would kind of let him display his skills a lot better. But Boca Chica, he's tough, strong, uh, has a big right hand. He's not really that fast. You know what I'm saying? He's not a speed guy, but he's tough and he has a rugged style, but he doesn't have a high punch output. He punches like probably just minimum punches around. Not a lot. It's just like in between. It's not something that's where he's gonna outpunch an opponent. So I feel like that's definitely gonna be a huge fight. Definitely. But Luis Alberto Lopez versus Raya Avi, that'll be a good fight. I feel like um Luis Alberto Lopez, he's had a tough last year and a half going overseas, having different fights. Just having to go across the pond to get a belt and just do different things and fight for belts and get opportunities for belts. It's kind of hard when you kind of doing that towards like the middle or the end of your career. Just you have like slim opportunities because it's been a few fights where if he would have lost, you know what I'm saying, he probably would be at the end like towards the bottom of the rankings. It's hard to kind of bounce back these days. So he's definitely trying to make sure he keep his name in a good light and stay in a winning column. So that's definitely gonna be a huge fight. But Aviz, he's a very good fighter. I feel like most of those guys with two losses, they get those early kind of fighting different competition or guys with more experience or a little bit older. So sometimes you really can't look at those losses a couple of guys have. So this is definitely a top notch fight. Could be a fighter of the year candidate for real. This is a very good fight. But with Duke Reagan versus Valdez. It's gonna be a very good fight. I feel like Reagan trying to bounce back from just a subpar performance. You know, he could have fought better his last performance. I felt like he was better than most people said, but it wasn't as good as everybody expected. I felt like he was definitely out for a lot of time and had different things going on. So he's definitely gonna try to bounce back and make some things happen. But Valdez, he's a guy who's gonna be ready to go. Um, so I don't know. Reagan, he got to make a name for himself as far as being the guy who's gonna destroy, just walk through his competition. Because a lot of guys trying to sleep on what he did in his last performance, but they don't understand that he was out for a long time. So a lot of this stuff kind of adds up when you're trying to have a good performance. Definitely. But I don't know, man. I'm thinking about this Munguia fight tomorrow. I don't know really what to go with. I felt like Munguia for a decision would be a good pick, but then later on I feel like a knockout. So I don't know. I feel like a knockout would be a good decision, but uh, get going with the decision would be a good decision as well. But I don't know. I feel like John Ryder is ready, man. It's gonna be hard to kind of knock him out. If Munguia knocks John Ryder out, I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to say if Munguia knocks John Ryder out, um, that he will. If he knocks John Ryder out, let me just say this: if Munguia knocks John Ryder out, he probably deserves the Canelo fight. Then, but I don't know though. I feel like that, but I don't want to make it that easy. But it's not that easy because it's gonna be hard to knock him out. But he probably would though. He's probably gonna put up a good performance. But either way though, I feel like he's gonna fight good competition either way. If he fights Canelo or Benavidez or anybody, it's gonna be top competition. So it won't be that big of a deal. It definitely won't. But that's all I got though, man. Like and subscribe.